Hey everyone, we're going to be taking a look today at pages 22 and 23 in your lesson book. These pages deal with two notes that we haven't really played very often. In fact, they might be new notes to you, but they are important notes that we're going to need in the future. Those are called E flat and B flat. So if we take a look at page 22, you should have a yellow box at the top of your page, and you'll see that that is showing you how to play the note E flat. So this is one of those notes that actually everyone in the orchestra plays the same way. That doesn't happen very often. In this case it does. So normally to play an E, you would put your first finger down on the D string. To make a note flat means you're going to make it a little bit lower. So what you would do is take your first finger and back it up a little bit here. Back it up actually a half step. And that's going to give you the note E flat. This is the difference in what they sound like. So here's your E. If you back it up, here's your E flat. Okay, so you can practice finding that E flat. You can see on your, in the yellow box, that after you play your E flat, in all of these exercises, the next note is going to be an F natural. And normally when we talk about F natural, our two fingers are touching, our E and our F natural. But since this is an E flat, there actually is going to be a space between your first and second finger. It'll sound like this. And then, if you're a violin or a viola, you'll have another stretch for your third finger to play G. It's a little different for cellos. You just put 4 fingers down, but it's important that we have that space between 1 and 2, and then for violins and violas, have that space between 2 and 3. So, number 99, called Let's Read E Flat, you can see it's not in the key signature. They've actually just changed all of your E's to E flats by putting an accidental or a flat sign in front of the first E in every measure. Remember, the rule is that if there's an E flat, or if there's an accidental on a note, that note or the accidental carries through for the entire measure. So if you look at measure 1, all of those E's are E flats. Okay, so let's go through and play 99. Finding our E flat here. 1, 2, here we go. Space here. Awesome, okay. Number 100, Hot Cross Buns. Before we even play this, it's good to find all of those notes. So our G, F natural, and E flat. So I actually am going to find them in the opposite order of how you play them in measure 1. So go ahead and find your E flat, space to an F natural, and then cellos, you just put down 4 fingers, but violins and violas, space to 3. Okay, and if you have that spacing, you should be able to play number 100. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Going to 100 and, oh, nope, that was it. For those two, good. 101 we're going to play in a second, but you'll see that now there is another yellow box that shows you how to play B flat. Now this is kind of interesting because the book did show you how to play B flat on a previous page, and it showed the violins how to play B flat on the A string, but it showed the violas how to play B flat on the G string. And now it's flip-flopping. So we're going to not necessarily pay attention to the box because I want you to know both. So, violins and violas, you can play a B flat in 2 different ways. The first way is exactly how we just played the E flat. So on the A string, your first finger is normally B. If you back it up a half step, that's a B flat. So B and B flat. Same thing for cellos with that one. Here's where things are a little bit different. On the G string, 2 fingers, a high 2 is normally a B natural. So if you want a B flat, you can back up your second finger right next to your first finger. So a low 2 on the G string is called a B flat. And cellos for you, it's just 2 on G. Okay? So violins and violas, actually everyone, should be able to find the two different B flats that you know how to play. Here's one of them, and here's the other one. Okay? When we play 101, violins have the lower B flat and violas have the higher B flat. I'm actually going to play the violin version so you can hear what that sounds like. But violas, you can play along with us too. So here we go. Finding our B flat for 101. 1, 2, here we go. Okay, 102. Even more practice with these B flats. For 102, again, it's like flip-flop. The violas, you have the higher B flat, and the violins, you have the lower B flat. So this time, I'll play the viola version. Okay, so here we go. Find B flat, and remember, nice spaces between our fingers here. The one thing that has not changed, because I know we're moving our fingers around, but for violins and violas, your third finger is going to be on your third finger sticker for this entire page. So be watching out for that. That's a big common mistake that students make. So here we go. 102. 1, 2, here we go. Awesome. Okay, and now it looks like this is going to be page 23 on your book. They have them on the same page in my book, but I think 103 is on page 23. Now they're using both the B flats and the E flats, so you have to look out as you're playing through these. It's a low 1 on the A string and a low 1 on the D string. So let's play 103. 1, 2, 3, 4. Awesome. So hopefully you're feeling really comfortable with those B flats and E flats. Let's take a look at the yellow box that's right above 104. This is introducing us to a new key signature. Remember, a key signature is a thing that comes at the beginning of our music, and it's sort of like the rules or the law. It says all of these notes are sharp or all of these notes are flat for the entire piece. So this is the key signature of B flat major, and when you see that key signature, it's telling us that all of your B's are flat and all of your E's are flat. That also means that everything else is natural. So we don't have F sharps, we don't have C sharps. We have B flats and E flats, and everything else is natural. So 104 is something called the B flat major scale. You can see that it has a key signature of B flat major, 2 flats, B flat and E flat, and there are not any accidentals marked like there have been in the other exercises. That's because the key signature takes care of telling us they're flat. It actually saves us from having to look at the flat every time. We just know based on the key signature. So if we go through each of these notes, that first note is 2 on G, or 3 if you're a cello, and normally would be a B natural, but since the key signature says it's flat, we're going to play it like a B flat. Remember, that one's going to be a low 2 on G. Next we have the note C, then D, then E flat, a low 1. Then we're going to do a space to F, a space to G, then open A, and a low 1 B flat on the A string. Okay, so they've done a really nice job in this book of marking those down arrows. If you see a down arrow over a note, it means you're going to have to pull your finger back further away than where you're used to putting it. We have those spots where we have stickers on the instrument. It means pull your finger back away from those stickers, so towards the scroll. When I say back, I mean this direction, towards the scroll, this thing. Okay, so everyone set your 2 fingers down on the G string for 104. It's a low 2 if you're a violin or a viola. And here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now low one E flat. Low one B flat. And back down. So as you're playing that, it's almost going to feel like your hand is pulled back further than where it usually is, and that's okay. That's actually how it should feel. Okay? So the next, let me just make sure I'm saying the right thing here. There's 3 more exercises. So the next 3 exercises all have the key of B flat major, so we're dealing with that same finger pattern. So what I'm going to do is just play through those 3 and give you a chance to maybe pick 1 or 2 that you really like and work on them. Okay, so here's 105. It sounds like this. Remembering that there's B flats and E flats in all of these. And one thing to look out for in that one is the last measure, that A, 1 finger on G, that's not a low one. So we've played all of our first fingers low today. When you get there, it's not a low one. Okay, 106, here's what this one sounds like. Last but not least, 107. This one, the Essential Elements quiz, is always kind of like a challenge. It's always the hardest one on the page. So if you're looking for a challenge, this would be a good one to pick. Starts on a low 2, B flat on the G string. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's pages 22 and 23. Keep working on those E flat, B flats, and E flats because you are going to need those as you continue playing your instrument.